Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys go ahead.
Dan, what was it like to see you guys up there after not making the tournament last year and then having 2020 wiped out?
Yeah, last couple of years have obviously been a challenge. And like I said, it dawned on me before the season that I had a bunch of kids in this program. The poor juniors, went through that COVID year when they were freshmen, and then last year you don't finish well. And so I have juniors, sophomores, and freshmen that haven't experienced the postseason or experienced the fun selection show. So I've just congratulated them, really want them to enjoy it, and focus on us and just get ready to play good baseball. But as I've said many times, I think it's ultimately one of the greatest accomplishments of this program. If you make a run and you go to the Supers or you go to Omaha, yes, you're trying to win a national championship. That's a separate season in itself. But when the NCAA selects you, 300 Division I teams and 16 get to host, and that's a body of work. That's from the days in February to the challenging weathers, to the rain delays, the snow, the flight delays. We had a threat at the stadium this year. I mean, you go through injuries, the flu bug, you name it. To be that consistent and come out as one of the top 16 teams, I've always said I think it's the greatest accomplishment that the players in this program have accomplished.
Well, what does it say about what you built that last year can happen and the expectation never? I mean, it's the same as it was.
I give the players a lot of credit. The players had to live through that. We watched the selection show last year. Our name's not called, and as I said, this is day one, getting ready, and I give those players a lot of credit. Metzinger and Rushing and Masterman and Bianco and Lohman and Poland, all the older guys that, knowing what the expectation is. And it was really about setting the standard or maybe resetting the standard, because we felt like we didn't live up to the standard last year. But the players have to be the ones. Coaches all around the country all want great culture and set a high standard and all that, but the players are the ones that are living it. And so you can coach them, you can motivate them, you can challenge them. Deep down in their heart, they got to be the ones that desire to do that. And I give them a lot of credit, because resetting the standard was big for this program, and they got us back to where we've been.
Dan, what do you know about the teams that are coming here?
Well, Michigan played here,
Right.
and so we played them in a 3-game series. Oregon, is a great program, and it's a West Coast style of baseball, but he also coached at Florida and at Purdue, and so he's got a nice balance of East Coast, West Coast. And then you're playing a conference champion, a team that had a really good year in their season, and then when you win the tournament, man, there's something to be said about a team that just won a tournament. That's why you get the automatic bid, because the NCAA feels like, well, if you just won a conference tournament, you deserve to play in a regional. So, as always, great talent and great competition, and really looking forward to Friday night.
After everything you guys have been through over the last few years, playing in front of empty stadiums and not making the tournament when you maybe could have won the whole thing, will you appreciate it a little more when you're standing out there in front of a full house?
No doubt, and I've said that. Not that you ever take it for granted, but again, what that junior class has been through, some seniors and obviously the sophomores, it's been a tough couple of years. So I'm super excited for these kids. That's why they come here. They know when they commit to the University of Louisville, why am I going there? We talk about the academic success. We talk about the draft and the big leaguers. But we always talk about the team success. You want to come here to play in regionals, host regionals, with an opportunity to go to Omaha. So excited for this group, and really excited for our fan base, because our fan base has been special. It's been really good this year, and I love putting them on the national stage. I love the rest of the country get to see what our fan base is all about, and we get that opportunity this weekend.
Dan, could you take this? Charlotte obviously didn't go as well as you'd want. How's the players responded since that trip?
Good. It's like I always said, I'm not smart enough to intentionally go down there and not play well. We want to win, and we're competitive. But there is value in getting your butt kicked, and there is value in getting home early and getting some rest and hitting the reset button. And for me, it's mapping out the schedule for the week and being super organized, and feeling like we can have a great week of practice, because we're fortunate that we get to stay home and host. And so you take advantage of sleeping in your own bed and utilizing the great resources that we have. And it is what it is. there are years we play great in the tournament, and there are several years we have not played great in that tournament. But again, that tournament's kind of like a mini Omaha when you see the talent, the teams you're going up against. I mean, it's just, you don't play good baseball, you don't win. And so it's a good lesson. You win the regular season, you win a bunch of accolades, and guys are feeling great about themselves, but you get punched in the mouth, and you realize, okay, it's about playing good baseball. And that's the focus this week.
Dan, you kind of mentioned that reset. Was that the motivation behind the energy buzz? I guess what was the motivation and the origin behind that?
It's a long year. There's a lot of frustration in baseball. I mean, it's a failing sport, as we know, for hitters. And you can lose to anybody. And as good as you are, you could get it handed to you on any given day. So I've always felt like when you get to the postseason, no matter what happened in the conference tournament, celebrate, enjoy the great regular season, and you better have some juice and energy as you go into the postseason. And I give the 07 team a lot of credit. I've said it publicly. They were a 3 seed, and they jumped up and down in that locker room just to be in a regional. And I remember thinking to myself, well, man, the bar is not set high enough for this program. But what I learned from that 07 team was there's something powerful about energy and excitement and joy to play in the postseason. And I saw that group play their way all the way to Omaha. And we talk about that 07 team a lot, as well as having awareness about our opponents. That, Michigan won a conference tournament. Southeast Missouri State wins a conference. Like, teams that just won a conference tournament, man, they're dogpiling and they're excited and they're happy, and that's a scary thing. And we just have to make sure we have our own joy and energy about this week and playing good baseball this weekend.
You've talked about resetting and energy, obviously, is a big part of that. Do you have other insights that you maybe didn't have a year or two ago about that process? Because everybody needs that button, I guess.
Well, I just remember telling the freshmen coming in, they're the lucky ones. Not that they're going to have great freshman years and they're all freshmen All-Americans, but I say you could be going to a program that has won big, and you could stick your chest out, but you weren't the guy that won big. It was the players before you. You're coming to a program that has won big in the past, but is not happy, and is in a mood of, hey, the standard has to be reset with a chip on our shoulder. And I remember telling all the incoming kids, you're going to benefit. It's going to be hard this year, but we're not going to cut any corners. And I'm telling you, guys are going to address things that maybe they didn't address the year before, even as coaches. And we were on high alert, and we did. I mean, it was a high alert edge to us this year, and for that, we get to host a regional.
Jared going to take them out for you on Friday? Or?
It's a good question. I think if there's anything you've noticed about our staff this year, it hasn't been in stone. Roger Williams' staff have been very consistent, great Friday guy, good weekend arms, great closer, the whole package with the bullpen. This year has been a little different. This year I've said we're probably more like pro ball than we've ever been. We've got openers, we've got guys that can only go through the lineup one time. For that, our bullpen is very experienced and very talented, with a closer who's had an unbelievable year. But to say that Poland would go on Friday, I don't necessarily know that. That's a decision we'll have to really sit down and say, hey, what's best for our team to obviously win, play good baseball Friday night, but put ourselves in a position to compete to win a regional.
What's the overall health of this team heading into the NCAA tournament? And kind of more specifically, what's the status of Christian after coming in?
I mean, the health is pretty good. We got most guys that started the year are still with us and ready to go and get a chance to play in a regional. Napchick looks better every day. We got him in at bat at the ACC tournament. It almost turned out to be a huge at bat, but the ball went foul, and I thought he had a pinch hit home run. But he's chomping at the bit. So it's day to day. He will play this weekend in some form or fashion. On Monday morning or Monday afternoon. Is he ready to run out there and play shortstop for 9+ innings? I'm not sure yet, but we're hoping. I mean, we're heading in that direction.
What has a bigger impact on recruiting? Success in the postseason, making the College World Series trips, or now where you also have these guys in the big leagues? I mean, Reed Detmer's pitching no hitters. You have Adam Engel making another great catch the other day.
I think it's a little bit of everything. I've often said to many recruits in the last year, if last year goes down as one of our worst years, which it really does for my tenure here outside of 2011, we had the first pick of the draft and we had over $8 million in signing bonus. So if that's our worst year, it's a pretty neat program to be a part of. So for your individual goals, obviously, to help prepare you for pro ball, but we always want kids that come here that want to win, that want to run through a wall for this program, because I think they go hand in hand. All the success we've had is because great players have come together, and that has translated when they cross the line to pro ball. They're great teammates, organizations love them, and they're able to play this game for a long time. I mean, I look at Adam Duvall and remember, he signed in 2010, and he's still playing today. Like, how cool that is, because I remember him here and what he was for our program, what type of teammate he was, and I love hearing those type of comments and the success he's having in the big leagues.
Yeah, you talked about the energy of your squad, but how do you describe the energy of this place when there's a regional and it's packed, the atmosphere?
I think it's known around the country. I think visiting players that come here, they leave here going, wow, that place is rocking. And we know we've got a great fan base. It's what I call a college fan base. And everybody in this city might not be a Louisville Cardinal fan, but you're a college fan if you live in this city and you live in this state. And I love putting that on center stage for the world to see. And they've seen it. I mean, they've watched it since '07, when maybe we came out of nowhere. And I've always felt like, man, if we could just be a springboard to football season and all the fall sports, what a great way to end the year. If we're the last sport going, and carry that momentum into next fall and the winter. And obviously we know why everybody's excited about next year and great things to come. So we just want to do our part and put a cherry on this year, good or bad, and really springboard us into the summer and next fall.
When you went through this in 19, you saved Reed for game 2. What's the calculus involved in that decision?
Well, I think it's hard to say the first game is not the most important, right? Because it's the game of the moment and you know your opponent. But in regional play, the value of the 1-0 game. If you win the 1-0 game, you have to win one more game. If you lose the 1-0 game, you have to win 3 more games. And we did it in 19, but it's not easy. And the same thing, I mean, if you lose the first game, anytime you get thrown into the loser's bracket, but when you get to that 1-0 game, the difference between winning 1 more game and 3 more games on a pitching staff. So, we've done both. Justin Marks has thrown the first game of regional, and we've gone on to win regionals, and then we save a Reed Detmers or Brendan McKay or a guy like that for the second day, and that's worked out too.
Is that a matchup thing, or I mean, you have to evaluate the relative strength?
Oh, exactly. Who do we feel could pitch in game 1? What do they do against righties? What do they do against lefties? I mean, we spent a lot of time, maybe too much time, looking at the numbers. There's too much information, and that's where our focus is on us. I said it to the kids out there. I'll say it again. Respect everybody who's in the NCAAs, but don't ever look past our Friday opponent, because we're only guaranteed to play one of the other 2 teams in our regional. And let's focus on us this week. I mean, let's control what we can control, and that's getting ready to play good Louisville Cardinal baseball.
You've been to Omaha as a player, obviously as a coach multiple times. When you hear people talking about the road to Omaha, what's that mean?
I mean, it's the best time of the year. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And again, I'm just glad I give our local media and those like yourself that have been following us all year, man, I hope I can keep y'all busy for the next month. I mean, I really do. And for our fans, and it's a great way to get in, like I said, into the summer and knowing those fall sports are right around the corner.
We hope you can keep us busy too, because we always need local stuff.
Well,
pressure's on, Dan.
I said sorry to ruin your Memorial Day and take you away from the lake or fishing or the pool, but hopefully you still got time to enjoy that. And thank you for being here. And like I said, hope to keep you guys busy for the next few weeks.
We hope you do too. Thanks, Dan.